This is a comparison video of Safari and Tata Hexa. As you see, this is Safari version, which actually comes with a chrome rail, and Tata Hexa used to have a plastic grill over here. It's chrome finished, which is what you can clearly see. The lamps are almost same, except for the case that the DRLs have come up in the case of Safari. There's a projector lamp, and of course the high beam lights, fog lamps are down, as you can see here. There was square fog lamp which were there in the case of Hexa. The Safari will be getting round LEDs. The tire seems to be 17-inch. This is an older Hexa, which is a standard version that had 19 inches alloy wheels. The doors are almost same. Let me open this and then show you how the doors look. So it gets the same grille as in the case of the Hexa. The interiors are completely different. I'll just show you them in a quiet while. This is completely beige. This is a completely black upholstery, and then the dash. Whereas here you get a black dash, and the upholstery is beige or maybe white in color. It seems that even the lock system and all is changed in the case of Safari. The Hexa gets your stuff in. The biggest problem with Hexa was the biggest complaint, I would say, was with respect to the dash and the camera, and the main issue was with respect to the display and all. Whereas this, on the other hand, just get in, we'll be getting you same look as in Harrier. Harrier's complete display system has been brought into the Safari. As we know, Safari is extension of what is called the Harrier 5-seater plus the extension of the seats. There are driver modes, as you can see here. This is only available was available in Hexa 4x4, not in automatic. But you see here, this is clearly much more better version, refined version of the complete drive modes and all. You have better systems when it comes to the controls in the handling. The steering comes with the complete controls. You have the drive mode, which is clearly seen there. The vents are clearly visible here, and then you got the details on how the display system or the info entertainment system is actually available on the Safari part. The Hexa, on the other hand, had something like this. So you can see the difference in the lighting system. The lighting controls are a little different in Hexa. It still is automatic version, which I'm showing you here, but there's no driver mode available in the Hexa version. Even the coolant, the bonnet, if you see here, actually has got a little different space. The space is a problem in Hexa, which we had only one place for the cup holder, and there's not much space for the space management over here is not that great. We hear often a lot of complaint about this particular case of Hexa management. If you see the same on Safari, on the other side, you got dual cup holder, plenty of ample of space. You got even the handrest, which actually surely will have we'll just check into that also, but it also has some space inside available. Seems space management seems to be pretty refined than what it has been in the Hexa case. There is only one glove box here. I don't see a glove box for the coolant, as in case of Hexa. Hexa comes with two glove boxes. The top one is the place where you have a coolant, the glove box, whereas the bottom one actually is the place where you will have your so this is your cooling glove box, which comes in Hexa. Whereas the bottom one is your normal glove box, which is not great, but yeah, it's decent enough to keep some documents and all. The next important observation is the hand grips and all. This is the normal routine stuff which we usually find in most of the other cars, whereas the Safari gets refinement even in there. You see there is a good grip for that. The opening and closing is little different. It comes in a closed circuit, not in the L shape but in a closed circuit format. You got a good amount of space for holding your bottles, your cup holders. You got your power windows. The same is the case with here too. You have all the four power windows, your left control. The ORVM doesn't seem to have any control here. Maybe it's because of the version which I'm just showing you is a virtual VR version of that. But the lamp seems to be high. Yeah, here is where you have the control for the ORVM. That's one more difference as I see. The ORVM size is actually pretty decent. It is something which will come handy when you're driving on highways or even cities. The IRVM also seems to be pretty good. You have the controls here as you see, and for the roof top and all, we'll just see it in a moment. Now coming back to the back seats, even upholstery, you can see something seems to be very good. It gives you a decent premium look for the car overall. The spacing is something which is a little different from what we see in Hexa. As you hear, the seat rows are actually a little stacked up like a staircase. You have the first level here, then you get into a little more elevated seats in the back side, and then this is 6-seater version, which is what is displayed for the VR. And then finally what we get is on top the other 2 seats, which are coming little up front than what we have in this case, so it comes little higher. So the advantage of this particular version, this particular view, is that all the passengers in the car will get an ample space, ample view of what is happening around. So there is a pretty good window space has been given on this car here. As you see, the windows are pretty bright and pretty large to have a good display of what is happening around. The same is the case with Hexa too. As you see in the Hexa, this is a 6-seater version of Hexa, which also comes similarly, mostly similar version of it. But as we just discussed sometime before, this is a complete black interior upholstery, whereas the Safari seems to come with a beige or a whitish version of the same. This is not stepped version, as I say, but the legging space I think is decent. I would not say the best in the segment, but it is decent enough for I'm 6'1" myself, so I can sit even in any of the seats here. Thanks to the spacing in between, I can even stretch my legs in between the 2 seats also. So the AC vents, ducts, everything seems to be pretty fine, refined, so that you don't have any problem coming from Hexa. Let's see what is the case with Safari. So the Safari is something like this, where you got a decent handling look, which actually comes with a grip. The AC vents are here. As you see here, this is a complete sunroof, panoramic sunroof, which was missing in the case of Hexa before. So these are the 2 AC vents for the driver and the passenger seat or pillion seats, and then here is where you got the AC vent for the second row. The second row passengers gets their AC vent here and here. It comes with power window. You have the lock and unlock system. You got a JBL speaker system, which comes with the tweeter on top and the speaker in bottom. The spacing seems to be decent again here. You got even some space here for keeping your mobile phones and small tab sort of thing. Maybe that can fit into this space here. There should be a 12-volt charger down. As you see here, there's a charger already given here. So that should help you to have, I hope that's a quick charging, 2.1 amps. That should help us in the quick charging of this. As you see here, these seats come pretty handy when they got your grip. The grip and the feel seems to be pretty nice. Thanks to the VR version, you can see that even you have your door controls, the ejection and all is pretty decent. The handbrake comes from Harrier version, which actually is more like what you see in the flight. It's not the standard rod mode, which is what we see in most of the other cars. So the other things which inspires me is actually going back to the third row. You got your AC control here on your right hand side with one cup holder. You got some space here for keeping your mobile phones or some magazines and all. Also you have your AC vent out here. The same holds good for here too. We don't have the power window, but what we have is a charging point of 2.1, so it's a fast charger along with your space for keeping your mobile phone and all. So it's come pretty handy when it comes to the charging of it. You also got a cup holder. So this is the view which comes from behind. The window is pretty big. You got your AC vent here. You have a pretty decent view, as good as what you see in Safari and Hexa. I think you can see the Hexa badging there. If you come here and see this from this side, you'll see the Safari badging. The Safari badging is somewhere here, I think. Yeah. The other difference is mainly in the tail lamps. So this is what you see in Hexa. The Safari comes like this. So this is the complete view of the Safari from behind. If you compare these two cars one on one. So this is what it looks like. You will have a better chrome finish with Safari. The Hexa comes like that. This is the highest one version of the X80 XTA, as you see here. So this is Safari, which comes with the complete logo and all. You have the Safari logo plus the chrome finish, which comes with the I don't see the version of this which comes here, the family version, but this is a complete thing. This also one more indication, one more difference which I find is the fuel lid is actually coming on the right hand side, whereas for Hexa it comes on left hand side. Here are the antenna. Also you see this is a shark antenna, whereas Hexa used to get a normal rod sort of antenna, which was one more prominent difference between both the custom. And you see there is a patching of Safari even on is it visible or no, maybe not. So I don't see any much difference. The other, yeah, here is where you have the badging. This is something which is coming from the old Safari mode, which you can clearly see comes with a lot of nostalgic feeling for us. It is something which people will be surely interested in. It actually has all the punch of what Safari used to be and what people have been experiencing Safari about. It's a cult feeling, which is what it carries with it. And the color seems to be the same as what we have it. Maybe in the VR version you see it a little lighter, but I think overall if you compare it with the Hexa version, it's something like this. Hexa looks something similar to this. So I'm sure even the version which we see later on will be something similar. So this is the complete look of the 360 view of what a Safari would look like. So this is where the maximum difference will be. So as you see, the upholstery seems to be a little more richer than what we had in Hexa. Hexa, one problem was that in the summer season, especially in Indian heat, it gets pretty heated up because of this complete black interiors and upholstery. The Hexa has refined it a little more with respect to the beige interiors. The upholstery is beige in color, whereas the interiors has a wooden finishing, which is actually one more difference, premium difference, which is what we can clearly see here. So they try to have a lot of premium facilities, including the touchscreen. The dash seems to be much more refined. You have some ample, you can see here, the finishing seems to be much more smoothened, much more finishing, much more rich and premium in look. You got some wooden finishing here, which comes from which comes from Harrier. And you got even the USB charger here. I don't see a 12-volt plug, which usually is also comes handy for plugging in anything like your air inflator or any other equipment which you want to keep in. But maybe that has been put into the second part. We have to wait and watch for that. The overall look and feel of the car for sure is much more premium, and it is, as you should have seen in some of the other videos, is much more bulkier than the other versions of the same segment. This car is surely gonna make a big difference when it comes to the auto industry in this segment. Unfortunately, the Hexa has been discontinued because of the BS4 norms. The engine norms is where it killed up the Hexa, but we are expecting, I mean, the Tata had shown Hexa Safari version before in the auto show, but now it says it's a concept car. Again, that there was one tweet on this. I don't want to get into any trouble by mentioning it here, but we have to wait and watch whether they're going to get the Hexa back or whether they will continue with what Safari would be doing right now. So one thing which I didn't like in the car was this fog lamp, which is coming round in shape. The Hexa fog lamps are pretty neat and clean. It's my own personal reason again. Again, the DRLs have been changed from top to bottom. I think we discussed about it sometime before. So this is more or less a complete comparison of how a Safari can look from the much known Hexa, which also is a as you see here, this is six-seater version of Hexa, which is what I'm doing comparison with. So I hope you like it. If you require any more details on this, please let me know. I'll be glad to provide those in the comment section, and I'll try to push more videos onto it. So yeah, the other main difference which I found is with respect to the boot. The boot space seems to be very similar to what we have got in Hexa. The one difference which is different, which is prominent in this case, is the way we have this 50-50 seat the as you see, the handle is a little different for us to actually put it forward. This is not the same with Hexa. Also, there seems to be a tool kit underneath this, so the boot space seems to be not ample or something, but it's decent enough in this segment. The same, I mean, this is what is the case with most of the other cars, including Innova or XUV 500 if you compare it. Most of the people cannot call it as a decent thing for us to actually hold a lot of when all the 7 seats or 6 seats are up and position. You may not find much of the space to keep everything. Maybe we require to go with a roof carrier, but then with a complete panoramic sunroof, as you see from here, I don't think it will be. Let me just show how it looks. Yeah, this is a complete panoramic roof. So what you will be left with is only this part here, and this part will not be sufficient for us to keep any rooftop because you already have antenna there. So one big problem which might be an issue for people who want to, I mean, with a full load capacity on a long trip, it will be the space management for the luggage. Luggage will be surely one issue which we have to think of when it comes to a car like this, which is considered to be a 6-seater or 7-seater. So that is something which we have to think of how it look, how should we be able to accommodate people in this. Maybe a elevated sunroof, elevated rooftop is something which may come handy. So that's all are the major differences. I would just show you once more as to how Hexa would look with respect to the boot space. So this is what is Hexa's boot, which is looks the same as the new Safari 2. New Safari doesn't seem to be anything different from this space here. The space management is almost the same. And the other difference which I was talking about were these things which comes in Hexa. You have to pull this in order to fold the seats, which Hexa comes with a handle sort of grip here. But if you see, this is what was given in the case of Hexa. The Safari comes with more refined handle grip, which is what we just saw in the Safari case. So here is the Safari case where if you have a quick peek in this, then you will be able to see them. Let me try to see if I can show it here, or yeah, I think this is visible here. As you see, the handle grip is little more refined. So also there is a light here, which is what yeah, these are the toolkit which I was talking about. There There is surely, yeah, there is a woofer there. I think that's a woofer which comes in the behind. So it comes with 10 speaker system. The same is the case with Hexa. You got your lighting for the boot here somewhere. So this is the light which comes for the boot space. The other lightings are all here. We have got one lighting for the unlike Hexa, because Hexa doesn't come with a sunroof, you have ample space there, but here I think there's only one lighting for the entire back, and then lights come on the left and right side of the second row, which is pretty okay for us to actually accommodate. Also, this is adjustable. The seat belts are adjustable for the front row. The second row also is adjustable, as you can see here, seems to be adjustable. So again, you got your bottle holders which are coming here. I think the same is the case with if you take a full-fledged bench seat here, I think it will be similar to what we have in Hexa, which will be having a foldable bottle holder which will be coming in center, and that's very much the differences actually. I'm not sure if they have opened the engine also, but I don't think engine is that visible from the air version. But other than that, this is very much the difference between the Safari and the Hexa. So hope it is useful for you to make a decision. And let me just take a picture of this. And here we go. Thank you.